Have you tried to be a smarter and more thoughtful person? Let's talk about one of the most important topics that we can try. Being a questioner is an essential trait for personal and professional growth. By asking questions, you can gain valuable information, clarify your understanding, and challenge your assumptions. It can help you learn new things, improve your communication skills, and even enhance your problem-solving abilities. In this video, we'll explore why being a questioner is important and how you can cultivate this skill. Firstly, being a questioner is important because it allows you to gain new knowledge and insights. By asking questions, you can learn from others' experiences and perspectives, which can broaden your understanding of a topic. It can also help you identify gaps in your knowledge and give you the opportunity to fill them. Secondly, being a questioner can help you improve your communication skills. By asking questions, you can clarify your understanding of a topic and ensure that you are effectively communicating your own ideas. It can also help you develop active listening skills, which are essential for effective communication. Thirdly, being a questioner can enhance your problem-solving abilities. By asking questions, you can gather information and identify potential solutions to a problem. It can also help you identify assumptions and biases that may be hindering your ability to solve a problem. So, how can you cultivate the skill of being a questioner? Here are some tips. 1. Practice active listening. Pay attention to what others are saying and ask follow-up questions to clarify your understanding. 2. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask questions, even if you think they might be perceived as silly. Remember that there are no stupid questions, only missed opportunities to learn. 3. Challenge your assumptions. Don't assume that you already know everything about a topic. Be open to learning new things and challenging your assumptions. 4. Ask open-ended questions. Avoid asking questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no. Instead, ask open-ended questions that encourage discussion and exploration. 5. Reflect on your questions. After a conversation, reflect on the questions you asked and consider how they contributed to the discussion. 6. Be respectful. Always be respectful when asking questions, and avoid questioning others' integrity or intelligence. In conclusion, being a questioner is an essential skill for personal and professional growth. By asking questions, you can gain new knowledge, improve your communication skills, and enhance your problem-solving abilities. By cultivating this skill, you can become a more effective learner, communicator, and problem solver. So, don't be afraid to ask questions, embrace the opportunity to learn and grow. Here are some additional tips to help us become a better questioners. Always be curious about the world around you. Don't be afraid to ask questions, even if they seem silly. Take the time to listen to others' answers. Ask follow-up questions to get a deeper understanding. Don't assume you already know the answer. Use open-ended questions to encourage discussion. Be specific in your questions to get specific answers. Use active listening skills to show you're engaged. Ask questions that encourage creative thinking. Ask questions that challenge assumptions. Be respectful in your questioning. Consider different perspectives when formulating your questions. Ask questions to clarify information. Ask questions to solve problems. Ask questions to generate ideas. Ask questions to learn more about a topic. Use humor to make your questions more engaging. Use hypothetical questions to explore different scenarios. Use why questions to understand motivations. Use what-if questions to explore possibilities. Use how questions to understand processes. Use who questions to understand relationships. Use when questions to understand timelines. Use where questions to understand locations. Ask questions that encourage critical thinking. Ask questions that encourage independent thinking. Ask questions that encourage group discussion. Ask questions that challenge authority. Ask questions that challenge norms. Ask questions that challenge beliefs. Ask questions that challenge stereotypes. Ask questions that challenge biases. Ask questions that challenge assumptions. Ask questions that challenge generalizations. Ask questions that challenge labels. Ask questions that challenge the status quo. Use analogies to help explain your questions. Use metaphors to help explain your questions. Use stories to help explain your questions. Use examples to help explain your questions. Use data to support your questions. Use visuals to support your questions. Use technology to support your questions. Use research to support your questions. Use personal experiences to support your questions. Use quotations to support your questions. Use statistics to support your questions. Use case studies to support your questions. Use experts to support your questions. Use humor to make your questions more engaging. Use real-life scenarios to help explain your questions. Use hypothetical scenarios to help explain your questions. Use different types of questions to keep things interesting. Use questions to encourage self-reflection. Use questions to encourage self-awareness. Use questions to encourage personal growth. Use questions to encourage personal development. Use questions to encourage creativity. Use questions to encourage innovation. Use questions to encourage problem solving. Use questions to encourage decision making. Use questions to encourage goal setting. Use questions to encourage action taking. Use questions to encourage collaboration. Use questions to encourage teamwork. Use questions to encourage leadership. Use questions to encourage communication. Use questions to encourage learning. Use questions to encourage a growth mindset. Use questions to encourage resilience. Use questions to encourage adaptability. Use questions to encourage empathy. Use questions to encourage compassion. Use questions to encourage inclusivity. Use questions to encourage diversity. Use questions to encourage social responsibility. Use questions to encourage sustainability. Use questions to encourage ethical thinking. Use questions to encourage cultural awareness.